Hi, everybody. Today I'd like to talk to you about something that's really dear to me, and that is I believe that Jesus and Paul and the writers of Philippians, all of them, they all had one thing in common. They talked about one danger to believers, and that was judgmentalism, a critical spirit, always looking at the worst in people and then making judgments about them based on behavior and what they see. We're going to look at a couple of verses today, and hopefully they'll help you. First of all, I want to go to Jesus in Matthew 6. He teaches us the Lord's Prayer, and he said, one day you'll stand before a holy God and you'll be forgiven the way you forgive. And then in Matthew 7, the first two verses, he says, judge not, and you won't be judged. You will be judged the way you judge others. So Jesus was on this a lot. But Paul's text in Romans 10 is the one I want to really get to this morning. Listen to what Paul wrote. You then, why do you judge your brother or sister? Or why do you treat them with contempt? For we will all stand before God's judgment seat. It is written, as surely as I live, every knee will bow before a holy God. So then, listen to this now. So then, each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. We're not going to give an account of other people's behavior or what we didn't like or what we stood against. We're going to give an account of ourselves. Therefore, let us stop passing judgment, Paul goes on to write, on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in the way of a brother or sister. Those are pretty clear texts. Paul is teaching us, and Jesus was teaching us that we should keep our fellow believers and our fellow sojourners on life's journey, whether they're believers or not. We should help them not to stumble. We should pick them up when they do. We should love them unconditionally as we've been loved. We should not make judgments and put people down and be critical and make them feel worse than before they met us. According to Romans 14:12, when the judgment day comes, God is not going to ask us about anything except what I have personally done. He's not going to ask me about how I shaped that person up or I called that person out. No. He's going to ask me about my life. His judgment for me is not going to be on others and getting them right. It's going to be the way I submitted my life to Christ. So here's what I want to say to you today. Practice not making judgments about other people. Instead, spend more time looking at your own life and saying, what is it that God still wants to work with in my life? What are the rough edges in my life that I want to let the Holy Spirit work on? How can I be a better Christ follower? How can I love more deeply and forgive more completely? So that's what I want to give you today. That, I think, is maybe one of the most important things that Jesus ever taught us. Don't judge, and you won't be judged. God bless you, and I pray that we all get better at this.